Heated Caitlin Clark yells at referees and holds back coach as Paige Bueckers makes statement versus fever. Caitlin Clark has now missed 20 games of the WNBA season. The 23-year-old superstar guard has been out of action since July 15 after picking up a groin injury, her third injury of the season, in the final seconds of the Indiana Fever's 85-77 victory over the Connecticut Sun. Still, with no timetable on a return, that hasn't stopped Clark from being a big voice for her teammates on the sidelines, almost as if she is in an assistant coaching role alongside head coach Stephanie White. Showcasing her passion for the game even when she is unable to be out on the hardwood, the former Iowa Hawkeyes star's emotions and subsequent actions can sometimes overspill, and that was the case in Tuesday's loss against the struggling Dallas Wings. Clark goes off on the officials. In a contest in which the Fever were down by 17 points with less than 7 minutes remaining, the game tightened up as Indiana clawed their way back to a one-possession game with mere seconds remaining on the clock. With a chance to win the game in the final seconds, there appeared to be a miscommunication when forward Natasha Howard rebounded a Paige Bueckers miss. Instead of feeding the ball down the court to a guard, she opted to dribble the ball herself, taking 5 seconds off the clock before passing to Kelsey Mitchell. Mitchell, unable to shake off her defender, ended up forcing a fadeaway with just 1.7 seconds left of the fourth quarter. Only then did White call a timeout. Failing to do so before Mitchell, who had a team-high 24 points on the night, got the shot off, proved to be costly, with the final score being 81-80 in favor of the Wings. Clark was irate about this and showcased her frustration both by how the game ended and the officiating by the referees by clapping demonstrably towards game official Amy Borner. This caught Borner's attention and she turned and signaled to Clark to go back to her team's bench. Earlier in the contest, though, Clark was far more composed when White lost her cool, with the 23-year-old having to physically restrain her head coach from stepping onto the court in the second quarter, much like a get-back coach does in the NFL. The Fever's loss to the Wings is their third loss in their last 4 outings, having previously been on a 5-game win streak. Although the Wings have struggled throughout much of the 2025 season, where they currently have the worst record in the WNBA 9-24 first overall draft pick, Bueckers stood up tall and helped will Dallas to victory on the road. The former UConn star dropped 16 points, 5 rebounds, 8 assists and 2 steals in an uncharacteristic performance by her own standards, though Wings coach Chris Coclains couldn't praise his rookie enough. You look at that, 6-19. Not her best game, not her most efficient from the field, but those 8 assists, and with a Reich Augunbowl out, she just shouldered such a load. That gets to you when we're asking you to make play after play after play, said Coclains. Both Maddie Siegrist and Lee Ueru set career highs in points with 22 and 20, respectively, as the Wings snapped their 5-game losing streak. Bueckers is currently the leading favorite for the WNBA Rookie of the Year award, although Washington Mystics guard forward Sonia Citron has been on a surge of late, especially when it comes to points scored in the clutch, which is appearing to make it a 2-horse race for the coveted award. This comes as the former Notre Dame star, who went 3rd overall in the 2025 draft, has been averaging 14.5 points on 47.1% from the field, 4.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists and 1.3 steals, with the Mystics having a slightly better record, 14-17, than the Wings. However, Paige Bueckers, who has scored in double figures every game this season, individual season averages are slightly better, with the 6-foot point guard tallying 18.4 points per game, albeit on 45.2% shooting from the field, 4.1 rebounds, 5.4 assists and 1.8 steals.